Hello everyone, this is my reaction video to yesterday's ISC, Derelicts of Daymar.
Our intentions at the Montreal team is always to add more gameplay to the universe. We wanted to do something that was a little bit different than the Reclaimer crash site. So when the players start up 318, the Daymar crash site is going to have 2 crash chips so that the player can explore. Working on the Reclaimer was huge because of the size of the ship and how big it is. The team was looking to work on something that was a little bit smaller, easier to break up, and that we could do multiple crash sites with the size of team that we have.
So when we bring this idea to merge the both of them, we would just decide to do that on Daymar because it was a sand planet and we wanted to create this location in a different biome than what we did on the Reclaimer.
Pause. What? On Daymar? Daymar is not a sand planet, Daymar is a moon, and Daymar doesn't have a breathable atmosphere. Good luck with your outpost in the open. I understand not everyone has a basic understanding of astrophysics, but if you are working on the game, you should know the game, and you should know this. Oh, CIG.
The whole feeling of the MSR and the whole outpost is that it's been lived in, it's being used, it's been repurposed.
Pause. Again, there seems to be some basic misunderstanding at Turbulent how humans and how the game works. Daymar doesn't have a breathable atmosphere. Period. We are done. You don't have outposts in the open on a moon without a breathable atmosphere.
And we create this kind of shooting range just to add some more gameplay opportunity for the player to just fool around and just having fun.
Pause. Environment damage, moving things with bullets is not in the game yet. I hope we'll get this one fine day, but this is... I don't like it when CIG made it look like we have this in the game, but we don't.
Now we have created a piece for the 600i in the MSR, and we have a lot of settlement asset. So now we'll be able to create a lot of different kind of crash site on other planet, other biome.
Pause. Let me get this straight. I like new outposts, I like new derelicts, but in my opinion those are just beautiful paintings without a soul. They are lifeless, they are boring. You have seen it once or twice, you move on. We hopefully might get missions, but those missions are always the same thing. Kill 3, 4, 5 bad guys, loot, move on. I don't think this makes for very interesting gameplay, and it reminds me very much of Fallout 4.
Now, one of last year's big showcases were the Colonialism outposts, and in the time since then, they've grown and expanded several times in scope. And while we're not gonna spoil all of that here just yet, what we can show you is what we call overlay work. Overlays are essentially a collection of props and dressings that can be added to an object container of an existing location. In this case, several of the Colonialism Homestead modules, to give them a look and feel of something very different than their original intention. With overlays, this facility that clearly started life as a domicile for the traditional homesteader has now demonstrably been overtaken by a rather messy outlaw element. Which isn't to say that all outlaws are messy. We already had that debate last year.
Pause. Maybe you should have this discussion again. All outlaws are dirty and messy. I understand outlaws might not work on having a very beautiful environment, but there is some middle ground. Once again, artists are running the show. Artists dictate how things are supposed to look.
It can also serve as identification of feature and UI needs for Rastar, the internal tool that designers are using to populate the entire Pyro system ahead of Alpha 4.0. The Outlaw overlay will continue to be developed into smaller subsets, some generalized for use anywhere in the verse, and others specifically tailored to some of the many gangs found throughout the Pyro system.
Pause. Pyro, 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 pyro. CIG is doing this for like 1 year by now, always hinting about pyro. I guess pyro needs server meshing, so we won't see pyro anytime soon, not in the next 2 or 3 years. I hope I am wrong.
I'll just say, some of this stuff is dark.
Pause. Yes, it's very dark. Animations of NPCs, even in official CRG videos, are really, really bad.
And just so you don't think they've only been working on the same stuff from last year, here's a sneak peek at early white box of a repair and service station you may encounter on your travels in Stanton, Pyro, and beyond. Work is also underway creating various refineries and other producers that will make use of the upcoming resource management system to provide new opportunities for players to build their credit empire, or should they choose, hinder the advancement of someone else's.
This was my reaction video to yesterday's ISC, Derelicts of Daymar. Let me know what you think in the comments below and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. And now we have the good old crackhead buggy. Let's drive in very slowly. Okay, it took a bit longer than the buggy. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.